Welcome to Justice Losers, the podcast where we discuss entertainment media, namely movies, TVs, and comics. I'm your host, Preston, joined as always by my delightful co-host,
Batman.
Wow, that is a delay.
Yeah.
Woo! Matt, what should people do?
Like, subscribe, and start a fight in the comments. Now that Christmas has passed, I can encourage the negativity again. So you can check us out on various social medias. So there's going to be some buttons that you can click that are good and nice buttons, like some sort of like or subscribe or follow, and you should leave a comment. This one I feel like is not going to be a very controversial episode because we're going to be talking about your music tastes. So, you can tell Preston that he's bad and wrong and shouldn't listen to the music he listens to. That'd be a good way to invite controversy, I guess.
Yeah, do that. Make me sad. Because I'll be talking about how a lot of my music taste has been stemmed from my status of my depression.
Well, lovely. Very good.
Yeah, that'll make you feel bad if you're like, man, Preston, I hate what you listen to. And I'm like, cool, it's how I cope.
Very good.
All right. So in case you haven't noticed, for some reason, we are remote. Matt is out in Montana, and Matt is out in Montana working on his computer out there with a camera, and I'm still in our normal recording spot, but in just like a different location, and we are Discording, so there's going to be kind of some odd delays. This is first time we've ever done this.
Yep, but it's good to know that we can do it.
All right, time for me to talk about myself for, 30 minutes?
Preston, explain yourself.
So, our friend Brendan, in our groveling for episode topics on Instagram, asked us to talk about kind of our music tastes. We'd had an episode, one of us each, for kind of our history through movies. Kind of how we grew up, what movies we watched, kind of what brought us to this moment for movies, which was a little bit more related to how we got to having a podcast. But Brendan asked us about like our music tastes, what got us to where we are now, like kind of like what we like, kind of our history with music. So I'm doing that first. We're going to see kind of how this episode goes. Matt will do his at some point in the next, 2 months. But yeah, we just wanted to spend a little time kind of like talking about I have a lot of music shifts. I have two really clear music shifts, music taste shifts. I can kind of talk about my development, my broader development, like what I was like when I was 5, what I was like when I was 16, what I was like when I'm now. That's tenses for you. And I think I want to do that. I want to kind of take a broader scope to it, but I want to talk a little bit more about like maybe where my music taste was related to my life at the time. A year ago from today, I was really getting into like this sinking my teeth in this music. And I just I was exercising a lot, and it was like, I was the happiest I've ever been because of this music. Like, I say it's because of this music. I think it's because of the way that I interpreted me getting to that music and wanting to be happy. Like I was like, I don't want to be sad anymore. And this music just plays into that emotion.
Sort of a virtuous cycle. Yeah. The music makes you happy, and you being happy makes you bring to that music.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know where I want to be, and I was there. Pandemic happened. All that up.
Yep.
But like that's the time when I was like super happy, super confident. I started dating Kaylin. One of the best things that ever happened to me. I don't know where that shift was, but it was somewhere in the last 2 years where it was just like, I need this new world of music to really define who I am. And it has. Yeah. And now I am humbly speaking, I'm genuinely a much better person than I was 5 years ago in every possible way. Like, I care more about my friends. I do more with my friends. I am less self-centered about a lot of stuff. I'm more ambitious. Everything. The reason I'm saying all this is because music makes a difference.
Yeah. I think if we've revealed anything here today, it's that your choices about your music can play a big role.
Yeah. It's like, you can think that music is just a supplementary content to your life all you want, but like, if you dedicate your time, I mean, it's if you dedicate or like put any effort into what you listen to, it can affect your mentality. Like, it's just listening to Breaking Benjamin puts me in a mentality of anger. Listening to Still Feel by Half Alive puts me in I want everyone to go listen to their music. Not because it's just really good and catchy music, but also they also really care about the way that what they say. Mm-hmm. They have a song called Rest that it's about not overworking yourself. It has a line that's letting go is pushing back, changing gears is saving gas. It's about like rest, recover your mental state, like stuff like that. And it's all part of that mentality. A lot of their music is the same way. It's very optimistic. It's like, there's a line in one of their songs that's almost explicitly, the world seems bleak, but like, we're all here and we all love. Like, it's just kind of that stuff. It's like kind of hippie-ish, but like, it's just all optimistic. And you choose like you said, you choose the music that you want to feel. And if you do that, you can feel that way. And it's just, music is so much more of an emotional connection than it has been. Or not, I don't know why I said that. It's more of a connection than people think it can be.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my monologue.
Fair enough. All right. So do you think you have to be kind of deliberate and active when you're actually listening to music to take that much effect?
I think the music has an effect regardless. Okay. Because I wasn't thinking about what effect, like I wasn't deciding how I wanted to feel back when I put myself in a pit. Mm-hmm. I subconsciously did it because this music connected with the way I felt at the moment, and then it pushed that, it accented that. But then last couple of years, when I decided that I wanted to be happier, decided that I wanted to listen to better music, that made a difference. Mm-hmm. You don't have to make an effort to have the music affect you, but you may not have control over what your music is affecting you. Like, or in what way it's affecting you. Okay. Because the music has an effect. Music is inherently, we've talked about this actually several times, how the sense of hearing is a lot more effective than you think it is. Mm-hmm. Because it's a very instinctually driven thing. Exactly. And so, like, your brain takes the rapidly moving vibrations into your ears and then interprets it in a certain way. And music does that. It causes those certain chemical reactions. This is getting very scientific. Causes those chemical reactions in a certain way. If you're listening to music that's causing negative emotions, you're gonna be negative. Yep. But you have to choose what you're listening to. If you're listening to a song that's happy and you're like, I want to feel happy. People do this all the time. Kaylin is very mood music driven. Mm-hmm. Like, she doesn't listen to an artist because she likes the artist and she wants to listen to it. She's like, I have a specific feeling that I want to feel when listening to music. She went back to her YouTube or her Spotify year thing, and her last one, all of her music was about like breakups. Like, the top 3 ones were like, I wish I could forget you or something like that, like really break us up, because she was like, that's where she was at that point. Uh-huh. And then you look at her stuff now, and I'm happy that it's this. It's really like happy and like good, in a good place. Okay. Like, because that's what music can do. Hers is different than mine. Like mine is,
Mhm.
I use the, well, I mean, not too different, honestly. About like I used mine to drive what I wanted to feel.
Right.
If I'm in a bad mood, I listen to happy music because it makes me happier. I don't listen to sad music. When I cook, I have one artist, Cat Empire, that I listen to when I cook because it's danceable, it's aloof, it's Latin, so like I don't know, it makes me think I cook better or something. But
And they sing about wine, which is fun.
Yeah. It's just yeah. So to answer that question, kind of going all the way back to that, is you don't need to consciously decide to listen to the music for it to have an effect. It will have an effect. You need to decide what you want to listen to in order to have that affect you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also, I think people need to put a little more effort into like listening to words. I don't know. I didn't for a long time. And now that I do, I feel emotion so much more. Like, songs make me cry now because I actually listen to what the words are saying.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Do you worry that by making music choices such an important driver of your just your mood and your decision making, do you worry that you risk making choosing music and listening to music more of a chore?
I don't think so. Well, I'm not going to say 100% no, because I am actually at a point right now where I'm trying to like reach out and find some new bands. I found a band to play at Artist Radio for.
Mm-hmm.
I started 21 Pilots Artist Radio, which I hadn't done before, and I want to see kind of what comes from that. But I just kind of want to reach out and find some new bands. And it is, I don't know if this is specifically what you're asking, but it's harder to find. It is kind of a bit of a chore to find artists that I really like because they need to satisfy so many criteria.
Right.
But I don't think when it comes to if I want it to be like affect the way my life, like my mood or my life or whatever, I don't think it's that much of a chore because like I think it has become less of a chore over the past couple of years because I know what I want my life to be like,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't do things that sabotage that.
Okay.
So like I don't change my life the way I want my life to be on a completely on a whim, like
right.
or not like on a whim, but like very instantly.
Yeah.
If I want it, like my life will, the way I want my life to be in 10 years will be different than now,
right.
but it'll be gradual. And from kind of like month to month as I'm listening to music, that will kind of change to what I want to be at every given month. And it will kind of go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be much of a chore to find the music. I think it will just kind of come with it.
Okay.
But at all points when I'm like discovering new bands, I'm like, does this make me feel happy? Like, am I dancing along? I think I discovered a new band on the way up here. I can't remember the name of it because it's brand new. On my way up, I was like, okay, I vibe with this. Like, I was just like, I was dancing. I was like, this makes me, I think there's kind of a test, like a subconscious test I do that if I like this band as much as I want to like the bands, I will be able to roll my windows down and drive. Because it's just this feeling of joy and pleasantness to driving with my windows rolled down and my hand out. Like, if I don't want to listen to it, if I want to sit in my car with the windows closed and I just like, in heat, I don't think I want to listen to that music.
Right.
There's a new band that I've been in, two new bands that I'm into lately. The band Camino. That's the whole name of the band. It's the band Camino. And Vinyl Theater, that are both the band Camino, kind of bringing back that through line of fullness.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't place my thumb on it, but it feels full. Like, it just feels like it's I don't know.
Food analogy.
I was going to say like a giant loaf of bread, or like instead of like a donut, it's just like this, like a hefty loaf of bread, or like a pie, like a pie that's just like it's the whole thing.
Okay, sure.
I don't know.
Good. Yes.
Or like a supreme pizza where it's not just like pepperonis every once in a while. It's like all of the things and you can't see the cheese.
Good.
But no, so I hope I answered your question with that several monologues.
I think so. Yeah, you definitely answered the question of, is it a chore to like seek out new music? Does it ever become a chore, or do you think it would risk becoming a chore to actually listen to the music if it's more about, okay, I need to put myself in a good place today. I'm going to listen to some happy music. I don't care about the music. It's just going to affect me.
Like if I was like you're saying, if I'm in a bad mood, is it a chore to go and listen to music?
Yeah. Does it become
not at all,
about the music?
honestly. Okay. No, it has become, because of my awareness that it has been such a pivotal part in the development of my present mental state.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually kind of a reaction. It's kind of like a Pavlov's dog, where like as I start to kind of get down, I'm like, I need to listen to music. Like I want to listen to music. I want to go. Like it happens. Like I listen to music all the time now. Like because I have a desk job and I'm doing something tedious on a computer, I'll like have music playing or something like that.
Sure.
But like I don't know. It's just if I ever get down, I'll just like walk into my room, tell Alexa to shuffle Goodies, which is my playlist of all my favorite artists at any given point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, and I'll just like listen to it. I'll fold or something, but the music, just the air of the thing, it's like I said, like a Pavlov's dog, where I gravitate to it when I need it.
Yeah. And I suppose
I'm sweaty.
Good. If you've done a good job like cultivating your own musical tastes, you're not going to run into stuff that you're just like, oh, I'm not excited about this, but I'll listen to it.
Right. Right.
If you put in the effort and the time to actually like, okay, this is stuff I'm going to enjoy, then you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, this was such a, like, I was not expecting this to go for an hour and be as cathartic as it was.
Yeah. I think this is really good. All right. Do you have a thesis? Well, before I have a thesis, do you have a couple of recommendations for people?
Half Alive is such a good band. Like it's just, they have good messages. Their music all sounds different. Like you can't really blend them all together. It's just like they feel good. I would wholeheartedly recommend them to everybody. If you don't mind the genre specifically, like you're open to other genres and you like being musically and intellectually challenged, I think Tool is a good one to go to. Tool, you have to actually like go and look at the words and think about them, because they can be very cryptic.
Right.
Like there's a reference to they have a song that is, it's about the Jupiter ascension, Saturn ascension. That's about 30 years, and it's this whole like astrological, psychological thing that people go through after about 30 years, and it's just really deep. So their song Lateralis is about the Fibonacci sequence, and it's like so rooted into Fibonacci sequence. Like you can look up YouTube videos of them breaking down. The music starts on the like, if you look at the number of seconds, it's the golden ratio. Like the rhythms break down into the Fibonacci sequence. It's just all, it's all. But no, so I would say those two are two that I would really recommend to people.
Cool.
Hippocampus is also pretty fun, but like Half Alive, they've got one album out, so it's not a chore to go and listen to their album. They've got one album and like an EP, so it's not a lot to go listen to their whole thing. Listen to the album straight through. Also, that's another thing that I've learned since Tool. Listen to artists' albums all the way through, like from beginning to end.
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be all in one sitting, but do yourself a service and actually like sit down, like put on a good set of headphones or something and like just listen to the whole thing all the way through, because they put it in a certain way. Like if they care enough about their music, they'll put it in a certain way that is designed to give you the feeling of the album. And also just sometimes you get like the little intro bits. There's a song called The Notion, There's an interlude called The Notion in Half Alive's album that is just, it's very simple. It's just this girl talking. It's just like, oh, I didn't think that a lot of Americans had faith. Like, that's because they do. They have a lot of faith stuff in there. And it's just like this little interview thing that just kind of, it fits. It's part of the message. But yeah, so
okay.
That's all that.
All right. Good stuff. Thesisize us.
I think that it's kind of hard to do a thesis because this is really just about me.
I know.
Broadly speaking, I think that I let music define. I think I let my life define my music, and it accented my life for 20 years. And coupled with depression, really made things hard on me. But the moment that I was able to identify music's effect and make a decision and allow music to be a crucial part of that is when my life just exponentially improved.
Okay.
So that's my thesis on my life.
Very good. Yes.
I think that's the way my life went.
Good to know. And how does that make you feel?
Really good.
Good.
Shallst we?
We shallst.
Hey guys, Preston here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked what you saw here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we upload these every Thursday. If you want to hear more, we have an unabridged version on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, and any other podcast app. Check us out on Instagram at JusticeLosersPod. See you next week.